Most of what I was writing was landing points. You'll hear a little bit of that, and you'll hear a little bit of me talking because I'm going to include some of the natural sound. But my vocal recording from the bicycle camera simply wasn't good enough for this video, so I'm going to do a voiceover track. I'm riding, this is actually this morning's ride to work, and I'm going a different route than normal because I want to make use of the newly opened 16 Tech Bridge. So now I'm riding down Waterway Boulevard, and you can see some of the buildings that have been added into the area that's kind of an industrial park called 16 Tech. So here I am coming up on the road. And the reason I'm taking the road instead of the White River Greenway is because I wasn't certain this morning whether the Greenway had been hooked into the 16 Tech Bridge. It actually had been, but as you'll see here in a minute, there was a roadblock. So, but this is just going by Waterway Boulevard, which nobody was driving on it at five o'clock in the morning when I was writing it. So I came up on the turn to the bridge, and I didn't know what the name of the road was. I thought the name of the road might be 16 Tech, for all I knew. And apparently it's Compliance Boulevard, which...
I'm on Waterway Boulevard, but I'm not sure they've got a... Oh, they do have a street sign up. What's that street sign say? The street sign calls it Compliance Way?
Compliance Way. And yeah, as you heard, I'm not really particularly wild about that name because I'm, rather wild card myself, and I'm not into compliance, but I'm on Compliance Way, taking the trail, which is I'm not sure what they're going to call this trail. It might be called the 16 Tech Trail, since they're apparently still calling the bridge the 16 Tech Bridge. So here I'm going to turn onto the White River Greenway, or at least the extension that hooks the White River Greenway. And you can see here, the trail actually goes straight through, but they had a roadblock up this morning. And when I came back this afternoon, the roadblock was gone. So I'm going to do another video on this afternoon's ride, which will show what it looks like on the way back. So here I am backing my trike up, which is like about a 15-point turn to get it turned around. You hear all the birds singing. Okay, so now back toward the bridge, and my first time across the bridge, I've actually gone across the bridge before, but before it was hooked into the road. So this will be my first time across the bridge that's actually functional. There are 4 apparently footways. Oh, there's that little sculpture where you stand and you become the I in the word Indy. So it's got the letters Indy Y. So I'm not certain whether I'm on the walking side of the bridge or the bicycling side. I think the bicycling side is the other side because there's benches on this side. So I think this is actually the walking side of the bridge here.
I saw where these lights can turn blue and purple and red.
Yeah, I've got some video of those lights being blue and purple and red. You're seeing them from a distance.
All right.
So I know they can be other colors than white. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it that, but I guess they are only going to do that on like special occasions or something. And now I'm on the cultural trail. So I've not really ridden on the White River Greenway at all this morning. So this is a trail that I usually don't take. Now it's going to be my new trail to work. That's going to cut about a ½ mile out of my morning ride. But more importantly, where I just crossed 10th Street, I got to cross at a light, which makes my crossing of 10th Street much, much safer. So instead of going along along the White River, which the White River Greenway takes me, now I'm riding in front of the hospitals. There's a whole bunch of hospitals just right off to my left. And then I'm going to take a right turn up here on, I think, University Boulevard. And that will take me, no, not University, Indiana Boulevard.
about that part of my ride is different.
So I am doing some. I did narrate this while I was on my bicycle, but again, the quality of the audio is really bad, so I'm just having to go ahead and redo the narration right now. So here I am coming up on Indiana Boulevard here, and annoyingly, I don't know why, but I have to cross Indiana Boulevard and then cross it again, only just about a half block later. So this is the Cultural Trail on the north side of town. And I'm on Indiana Boulevard. I'm getting ready to cross University here. Indiana Boulevard is just right off to my left. And then this is the crossing of University.
This new route involves me waiting at a lot more lights. It being the time of morning that it is, there's nobody out here except those two people that went. So.
Alright, so getting across here now, I'm still on Indiana Boulevard, and there's student housing off to my right, and off to my left is a little area that's kind of a bunch of little eateries that are frequented by the college students. And then here in a moment, I'm going to turn on, I think, Blackwell Street, and that's going to take me right down through the middle of Indiana University. But before I get to do that, I have to cross Indiana Boulevard, and then I have to turn around and cross it again. So I have to cross it at this light up here.
Follow this trail over here, cross West Street at Indiana, which will lead me to Walnut, and I'll put the bridge and go down onto the canal.
Now, what I'm talking about there is that this trail actually extends all the way across West Street, so I can get to the central or the city canal, the downtown canal, if I were to follow this trail instead of crossing back over to get back on the cultural trail. So now I'm going to have to cross Indiana Street again to get onto the boulevard. But you can see that the trail goes on straight down. And the nice thing about that is I can get onto Walnut Street, which will in turn take me across West Street and down onto the canal. There's a ramp from Walnut down onto the canal, a bridge that goes across the canal, and then the ramp that goes down onto it. So I can get onto the canal from there, which is a much safer way to get onto the canal than trying to get onto it from what is the White River Greenway / Cultural Trail. So we're gonna cross the canal on a bridge here, which is a different. It's really close to the bridge that I have been crossing it on. But first, I'm going to go through Indiana University. There's some great big parking garages on both my right and my left.
Parking garage. Another parking garage on the other side.
And while this is a much safer route now, I have to cross quite a few more streets, and that involves waiting at quite a few more lights.
I'm just wearing a t-shirt, slacks. It's like 68 degrees here in the middle of April. Okay, that's Michigan Street.
Yeah, so I just crossed Michigan Street. Then I'll cross Vermont here in a moment, and then I'll be up to New York Street. So Vermont Street, there's just a stop sign, and it's actually the cars are supposed to stop and give the right of way to the trail. Of course, it's very dangerous to assume that the car's ever going to give you a right of way when you're on a bicycle, so you have to assume that that's not going to happen. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to cross New York Street, or here.
What street is this? New York? Yeah, this is New York here. Okay, so across Michigan, across New York,
Okay, now this bridge here, I'm not really actually on a street at this point. There's a street there, but it's very rarely used because it doesn't. It just kind of comes to a dead end here. But the cultural trail goes right on across over this bridge, and as I'm going over the bridge, I've got the State Museum on my left, which you'll soon be able to see it. And it looks like they've got some tents up for the mini marathon that's coming up this weekend. So you'll see there's a footbridge, a sky bridge that goes over, and that sky bridge connects the Indiana State Museum on my left to the NCAA national headquarters on my right. I don't think you can see that building. Yeah, you can see a little bit of that building on my right, and you see an awful lot of lights, and that's the lights that are over the canal. So I'm actually riding over the canal. You might not notice. You might not notice that that's a bridge, but I'm actually on a bridge that's going over the canal. And there's some of those rideshare bicycles.
Probably by about a half mile, which means I get to work maybe a little faster. Probably not though. Probably about the same because I have to stop at so many additional lights. It certainly makes it a much safer ride. Yeah. And here I am. So I'll stop the video here because this is where I had previously come through. But yeah, that cuts out a lot of. That probably cuts out more than a half mile. Okay, cool. I've been hoping that thing would be open for July. It's actually